So now I finally get to show off the main feature of Silkshot. It bounces! Whee! Okay, it only bounces in this stage. The main feature of Silkshot is that it changes from stage to stage, and I have a giant spiky death suit. Anyway, this jump is incredibly difficult, and yes! Woohoo! So as you see there, the best way, at least in my opinion, to get across that chasm is to position the ride armor right on the edge like that, and then just jump. That jump is so incredibly difficult that the rest of the stage is gonna kinda suck. I don't mean the stage itself is designed poorly or isn't fun, that's not true. But you see, when I record these, I do multiple takes of each stage. And that was my very, very first attempt. Whee! Spikes are pointy and not painful to the ride armor. Anyway, I really didn't think that I was going to be able to do that again without a gigantic headache, so I decided that no matter how bad the rest of the stage turned out, I would go with this take. That is why you will notice that my playing is certainly not as polished as other stages. On to a new topic. I actually hear that you can get up this vertical section with the ride armor, but I'm not entirely sure. I haven't seen it, and I've tried just a couple times, but haven't been able to do it. Although I am fairly indifferent to the challenges, overall layout, and enemies of this stage, yes, I'm talking to you, robot fish trapped in a crystal, I've got to say that the visuals are some of my favorite. There's a lot of detail put into the background and the foreground, and the exploding crystal fish! Anyway, it's kind of hard to really describe why I like the aesthetics of this place, but why do I need to? You can see them for yourself. Oh, and take note, these bats will be the bane of your existence very soon. Kind of like accuracy is the bane of my existence right now. My enemies have it, and I don't. Well, it's not a problem that fire can't solve. Ah, fire, burning away problems since the dawn of man. Mega Man X, enter the capsule. Again. This enhancement will modify your radar optics. This is the most useless power-up in Mega Man X history. If you don't count any helmet power-ups from X5 or 6. Okay, so I'll level with you here. The helmet power-up might be useful if this was your very first time playing and you didn't have access to the internet. But since you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that you do. The helmet upgrade points out secret areas. That is it. It is not used to access them or anything. If you already know where they are, getting this power-up is almost pointless. If you also aren't going for the completion bonus, it is entirely pointless. And on the note of mostly pointless things, let's talk lore. Question: how did Dr. Light make the capsules that give you your power-ups and include the holographic recordings that seem to know what is happening in the world and can have an actual conversation with the person about to enter? The answer? Dr. Light is still alive. Kind of. The general consensus is that Dr. Light digitized his consciousness and became some kind of floating ghost program that apparently can modify Mega Man's system enough to give him power-ups. Whee! Speaking of power-ups, that's a little trick you can do with Silkshot in the areas where it doesn't fire anything. Try charging it up, you will be pleasantly surprised. Now back to what I was saying. Considering the fact that this future world can make fully conscious robots, it's not much of a stretch to say that a human could scan their consciousness into a program. The computers are obviously big enough to hold it, and they're able to make consciousnesses from scratch, so scanning one shouldn't be too much of a problem. I'll talk more about this later. For now, we are fighting a spinning shell of doom. A very slow spinning shell of doom. Get it? It's a snail with electricity coming from his antennae. Well, I guess he is robotic. This boss battle is pretty damn annoying. As you may have guessed, this fight is slow. Remember that whole speed thing I was talking about with Overdrive Ostrich? Well, this is the opposite. In fact, Crystal Snail's weapon is the weakness of Overdrive Ostrich. Fitting. As you could probably tell, he is invincible when he's flying around in that shell, and those blobs of snail crystal goo will immobilize you. The worst part of his shell attack isn't that he lunges at you, it's that he spends forever spinning around in one place. On a conceptual level, this boss battle is actually done really well. He is a snail, so obviously he's pretty slow and apparently has the ability to slow down time only for you. But on a technical level, this boss battle drags on way too long. If you're going to fight him with the Buster, I would heavily recommend having the arm power-up so you can hit him twice. Otherwise, use his weakness. It is worth it.